Hello, just wanted to show you how I use FCF and Western in my daily workflow. Every day I do three things. First, find a file and edit it. Second, find a folder in the whole system and open it. And third, direct access to frequently folders or projects. So I'm gonna give you a quick demo of each one and then I'm going to explain it in detail. Okay? Okay, let's suppose I want to find and edit a file with the name Western. What I normally do is to press Ctrl, Shift and F and it opens a command. Then I press enter and I start to type the name of the file. Okay, here is the file that I want to edit. I press enter and I can start to edit it. Okay, really easy. Now suppose I want to do the same thing but with a folder. I want to find and open a folder called Western. What I do is to press Ctrl Shift and D. Then I start typing. And then I am in the current folder. Then I open Neovim and I can start to edit the files in the folder. Really easy. Now suppose I'm working in a project and I want to modify a frequently used project. What I do is to press Ctrl and Shift and N and it opens a menu. Here I have the most common projects that I use. Then I select it and I can start to modify the project. It is opened in a new tab, so I can modify it, close it and return to the previous project. Okay, let's explain what FCF does. FCF is a fuzzy finder, especially for files, but you can find anything you want. If you type FCF, it will display all the files in that folder, so you can start typing. If you want to find profile, or I don't know, bash, and it is a fuzzy finder because it doesn't match the exact string. For example, if I want to find files with this year, but I want files from 5 of December, I can do this. And maybe I want the or too, for example. It doesn't match the exact file. That is what a fuzzy finder does. Okay, and you can use it with pipes and all that stuff. For example, if I want to find in the output of ls command, I can do ls pipe and fcf. Okay, and you can send the output of the command to another thing. For example, if I put fcf or nvim fcf, this will search for a file and will open to Neovim. Okay, this is what FCF does. Let's explain how shortcuts in Wezterm works. In Wezterm you have a special folder and you put your configuration there. I'm going to show you my configuration, and this have a special section where you can customize your key bindings. Let's find it. Here is mine. For example, I have Control Shift S to split, Control Shift T to open a new tab, Control Shift W to close the current tab. And it is very easy to bind a command to a shortcut. For example, if I want to, I don't know, say hello with a shortcut, I can do this. I want to do it with Control Shift A. I can do western.action and send the string hello. Okay, and if I press Control Shift A, it will say hello. And I can do this with commands too. For example, if I want to find something, I can put fcf and then I can find things in that directory. If I want to open find and open a file, I can do this. It is very easy. And you can do more complex things. For example, you can bind a shortcut with a very complex scripts. I have done some of them here. For example, I have this to select a project, and I have a special file to put the location of my common project. So you can do a lot of stuff with this. Okay, now let's see how Fzf Wezterm and Neovim work together. I am here in my Wezterm config, and I'm going to find my key binding section. Okay, here I have the three things that I mentioned in the beginning. Let's start with open a file. Find and open a file in the whole system. When I press Ctrl Shift, this call this function. Then I get the command that I want to execute. If it is Windows, I use this command, and if I am in Linux, I use this another command. And finally, I just execute those commands with this function send string. And I do a very similar thing with directories. If I press Ctrl Shift D, I call this function, then I get a command from here. I haven't implemented this for Windows. And once I get the command, I send it to the terminal with this another function. To open the direct access to some projects, this is more complex. I call this function over here, and I create a table with using this file over here. Then I return that table, and then I use this kind of action in Wezterm, input selector. This gives you a callback with the selected project, and then you can change the directory using that callback. This is more complex. If you have doubts or something, I'm gonna put the direction of my config in the description of the video. And that's it. It's very helpful and it's not very complicated. Hope you like it.